True, true. Relationship is very critical, and as Kyrie said, we've got to be aware of the type of people we keep around. And I remember again, a number of years ago, like 10 probably, I was attending a conference somewhere, I think it was in Cape Town. And I met a business leader who had started a very big business in Africa in 1971. And he had come from the US. So he was giving us a story that when he chose to come to Africa, his mother told him, "Why the hell are you going to Africa? You will die there. Yeah, it's a very hostile place and all sorts of things." And then this was his conclusion. He ended up coming anyway. And his business is now in Africa, Australia, and many other continents. He said, "The people who love you the most will give you the worst advice. Most times, people will discourage you. And it's not that they hate you, only that they don't have enough understanding." And this is where we also have problems with the so-called experts. Certain experts are too cautious to the extent that even where we need to leap with faith, they will caution you. So the people who surround you are very critical. If there are people who are going to drain your energy, you need to limit your relationship with them, and more so as far as your dream is concerned. You can keep other things, other social affairs, maybe you are attending some games together, but when it comes to discussing your dreams, you better know whom you want to ask and whom you want to relate with. Again, we are taught that you are an average of the 5 closest people to you. The 5 people you hang out with most will always determine where you're going to be 5 years from now. You are just but an average of them. So if their income is capped at a certain point, that is where you're going to be. So we must always be ready to make choices as far as whom we relate with is concerned, as part of building our resilience. There are several other ways of building resilience, and one of the ways I love most is facing the fire itself without running away. Because we've learned that after every crisis, you always emerge out wiser and better. Today, what we have today, I think it's much better than before post-COVID. Some people will not see it before COVID itself. Some people will not see it, but it will be apparent as we move along. After every crisis, we develop more skills, we develop a thicker skin, we become better people. And so one thing we must always take care of is to be sure that we don't run away from trouble. As a friend of mine, Brian Tracy, says, troubles come not to trouble you, but to train you. So whenever we see trouble, the question is, are we moving towards it? Are we running away, or are we just freezing? And the mental attitude that we put when we are moving towards a trouble or when we are handling a crisis will always determine how better or how we come out of it, if we ever come out at all. I love saying that even during the concentration camp and all those problems that the Jews went through, the people who came out were people who developed what I call the mental toughness. And most times it is positive expectation. It doesn't matter what you're going through, we must keep that element of positive expectation. We are expecting that it doesn't matter where we are, things are going to get better. That's why the psalmist also wrote that even when I'm walking in the dark valley of death, even there you are with me. You see, and I think Paul also said it in the book of Romans that all things work together for those who love God. The idea is, it's not that all things are good. Some of them could be fire, some are flood, some are whatever, crisis, but all of them work together for our good. And we are those people who are created by God, if we so believe. And so everything must work for us, whether it's wind, whether it's earthquake, whether it's pandemic, this plagues, COVID, whatever, they all work together to build us, to make us better. And by the end of the day, we become much better people. I love asking, when you're going to have, when you're experiencing a trouble, let's say you are driving, you want to be driven by somebody. Do you want to be driven by somebody who's not experienced road, who's not seen more problems, or you want somebody who has gone through many problems, many traffic jams, many issues, many challenges on the road? The same thing happens everywhere. And the more problems we can handle, the higher our value in the marketplace. We want to handle more problems. At one point, I prayed to God, I want to see all the problems that people in my organization are likely to see, so that when they see it and run to me, I can relate my story. So I started from relationship. We must choose the relations that we have. We must detoxify by getting rid of those relations that don't build us, in order to keep that positive mindset. Then we must have positive expectation. Then we must always admit problems as opportunities to learn and grow and get better. And we must always expect the best. That's just the way it is. Thank you, Alan, for the time being.